Carrion-maker. During the first moon, it smashed the legs of 100 men, women, and children. During the second moon, it smashed the arms of 100 men, women, and children. During the third moon, it smashed the heads of 100 men, women, and children. During the fourth moon, nothing was left but a lake of blood and a mace dripping with liquefied flesh. Dragonstroke. This is a mace made from the scales of a dragon. In an age long before the founding of the Union and Empire, man lived in terror of the subhumans. Tired of the oppression of the beasts, the people turned to a nameless young hero to throw off their yoke. To gain the strength he needed, the warrior resolved to enter a pact with a dragon. He challenged the dragon again and again, and lost again and again. Though he eventually beat the dragon, the creature was already pact piece to another, and victory was in vain. But in recompense, the dragon offered a piece of her own wing. Armed with the mace forged of dragon flesh, the warrior battled the subhumans and brought peace to mankind. Holy Mace. This fanged ceremonial mace was presented to the hierarch of an ancient kingdom by his 13 pupils. After the hierarch died, the nation broke down in chaos and strife. The young pupils tried to stay true to their master's teachings and avoid bloodshed. But still they fell, one by one in the war, calling out helplessly for peace. Abhorring violence to the end, and still refusing to wield the mace, the final remaining pupil was killed in battle. As the bloody mace fell, a great god weeping black tears descended from the heavens. He gathered the 13 souls of the pupils, and in exchange cursed the mace with a frightful power. Iron scraps. A village of serfs, suffering under their lord's corrupt government, cobbled together this mace to serve as a weapon in their rebellion. Its crooked frame was shaped by the blood of their toil. No matter how they suffered, the law would not grant the serfs relief. With cries for justice and freedom, they gathered into a crowd and marched against their overseer. As dawn broke, the peasants charged into the castle. But there they found the lord living as impoverished a life as their own. For as much as the lord taxed the serfs, so was the lord taxed by the king. The serfs took pity on their incompetent lord and cast aside their weapons. From then on, serf and lord lived in harmony, hungry and destitute, together. Mage's Promise. There were once 2 bandit brothers whose infamy was known both near and far. With 200 men at their command, none dared stand against them. One autumn they began to terrorize a mountain village. The desperate villagers appealed to a traveling mage for help. The mage announced that he would help the villagers, but in exchange he would require a village girl as his wife. The mage then gave this mace to the brothers as a gift. No sooner had they accepted it than they began to fight. The whole gang took up arms, and in the end, not one bandit survived. But instead of giving him his reward, the villagers slew the mage. Soon thereafter, an evil plague fell upon them and left not one soul alive. Only the cursed mace remained. Pupil's Club. This mace was made by an apprentice wizard with a single swing of a blacksmith's hammer. However, this apprentice could conjure little more than small flames. As big as an ogre with an appetite to match, the apprentice did not look much like a sorcerer, and he found himself bullied by his master and fellow apprentices. One day, he and another apprentice began a violent argument that did not end until the giant wizard lost his senses, swung his mace, and struck his colleague dead. As it tasted blood, the mace absorbed the fallen apprentice's magical powers. The pupil realized that he could make the weapon even stronger, so he slew his master with a blow to the head. Skull Banquet, a mace that belonged to a priest who gave his soul to demons. When his cult was still young, the demons spoke to him, commanding that he gather fresh souls. The priest offered sacrifice after sacrifice to the demons, crushing each victim's head in turn. Blow by blow, the mace brought his ambitions closer to his grasp. As the cult grew, so did the mound of crushed skulls. But then the skulls shifted and transformed, turning into the face of a man the priest knew all too well. The face was the priest's own. He had paid the ultimate price and was turned into a demon. He rose and bid farewell to his earthly body. Sorrow's Companion. The mace owned by a warrior monk who was charged with fighting pirates. When he sailed the seas with his son at his side, no pirate could feel safe. One day they encountered a gang of pirates led by a wizard. The wizard summoned the sea dragon to fight by his side, and during the fierce battle that ensued, the monk's son was slain. Rendered mad by the loss, the monk slaughtered the pirates and the dragon. But no matter how much he raged, he could not bring back his beloved son, and the monk soon died of grief. Eventually, the sad tears of the monk reached the merciful god of the sea. In sympathy, the god took the monk's mace and made it powerful with magic and the talons of his own claws. Spiked Wisdom. A philosopher was troubled by the ancient question, what is man? From whence is man born? And to what purpose? Did the gods place him here on this world? The philosopher brooded on the question, his eyes cast skyward for the answers. Amidst all of creation, surely mankind had a special purpose. Then the philosopher came to a realization. Amongst creation, amongst the stars, the sun and the moon, only man has the power to destroy. Proudly, the philosopher announced his discovery. In the philosopher's audience, a single old man laughed. He took out a great mace and placed it before him. "Right," he said. "So this is the meaning of life?